Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jimmeron, and today we're going to figure out what in the world is Westmark Manor. It was developed by No Dream Interactive, and it was published by Toadman Interactive. The developers have, I'm probably going to mispronounce the name, but they've also released Curator. I don't know. It wasn't all that well received. 57% on Steam reviews. Let's see what they got with this one. It's an interesting title. I will be the first one to admit. It is for the most part a top-down, and I say for the most part because there's a few moments in the game where the perspective changes in order to enhance immersiveness and the jump scares. We'll get to that in a second. Exploration, horror, survival, puzzle solving game, although puzzle is very loosely thrown in here because there's a slight frustration in the progression system where it's barred by the over dependence on keys, rather. Unlocking doors has never been more fun. Let's look at this options menu first. As per usual, we got graphics, we got resolution, full screen, windowed, whatever you want to do. Texture quality, anti-aliasing, shadow quality, gamma, and post effects. Now, if any of you have watched any of my previous videos, you're going to know that I'm going to bitch about this. Post effects. First of all, we're not told what they are, and second of all, they're not separated. Post-processing should be a category in which we can adjust everything by ourselves. Kind of like many options menus have categories of their options. This should be one of the categories. It shouldn't be a bundle of on or off. Not even a high, medium, or low. But everything else is fine. Shadow quality, anti-aliasing. This is not going to be a super demanding game, so push your microwave to the limits. Sound, master volume, effects volume, music volume, and ambient volume. Awesome to see separate sliders. Thank you to the developers. Gameplay, language and subtitles, that's it. And controls. You're going to notice that I'm not playing with the mouse, at least for now. And that is because the game does not support a mouse. I was kind of surprised to see a computer game not support a mouse in the menus. I understand it's not going to support it in the game, although it would be nice. But there's no mouse support at all, so hopefully that's addressed and fixed. And I say fixed because to me, this is a problem. I just bumped my microphone, so hopefully that didn't blind everybody, deafen everybody. Yes, so not having a mouse is a problem, but I will commend the developers for the ultra-wide resolution. Awesome. What I would like to see is an aspect ratio option, in case people are not familiar with resolutions and all that stuff. But this is good. Ultra wide resolution. Awesome. So I was going to start a new game and avoid any spoilers, but seeing that it would erase my previous... I don't know why we can't have multiple saves in one. I have a 3 terabyte storage device. I'm pretty sure I can withstand the saves, so... Sadly, because of the nature of this limitation, we're just going to load the game. So, Westmark Manor, it's an interesting one. If not a little bit disorienting, admittedly. So, here's the first thing I want to open up with, and that is the movement. So, the moving response is very delayed. What I mean by that is it's not very fluent and kind of rotating around like this. I'm not slowing down. I'm just slowly rotating the joystick in order to walk, and it's not responsive at all. I understand that you're playing as an older gentleman, not old man. So he's not going to be as agile as one would expect him to be, but that does really get in the way of the fluidity of the gameplay. You do have a stamina bar. That's the green bar over there, as you can see on the top left corner. And the number 4 with the red bar, that is your insanity. And sanity is, sanity, rather. The 4 is the sanity points, and the bar is your sanity for that remaining point. If you run out of sanity, then you consume 1 sanity point in order to either revive at the place that you died, or you can load up the last save from the location that you saved the game without wasting any sanity points. Now, this is why the save system in this game is a little bit getting in the way of enjoying. This is enjoying the game. This is a podium. This is how you save the game. Every time you save the game, it will cost you a sanity point. You collect sanity points throughout the manor by discovering various points of interest, whether that be a suit of armor for a knight, or some kind of artifact that you found, or stuff that progresses the story and you uncover what happens. That's how you get sanity points for the game, and you choose to spend them on saving or reviving yourself. I highly recommend the saving, but the problem is if you've spent 30 minutes walking around the manor and trying to progress the story, that's precious 30 minutes that doing it all over again seems a little bit tedious. You have an inventory system in which you collect things, trinkets, ingredients for crafting, which I just actually unlocked by coming into this room a little bit earlier. Identifying kits, which help you identify objects if you've played any RPG before, top-down RPG. And you have various keys and door handles and whatnot, and this is pretty much the biggest flaw of the game, and that is how heavily it depends on different various keys. It is slightly disorienting, and I will explain why. Here's your crafting. You unlock recipes by discovering the books around the manor. You can craft a sanity recipe. This is the first one that I unlocked by finding a book, but I don't have the appropriate amount of resources to craft it with. But crafting is kind of interesting in the game because you have to actually align everything and connect it the way it's supposed to be connected. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to craft what you're trying to craft. So, kudos to the developer for making it kind of Minecraft-y, but a lot more complex. If you're familiar with Minecraft crafting, this is gonna work for you. Besides crafting, you have your trusty lantern, and it is fueled by oil flasks. I'm down to my last one, and that's pretty dangerous to not have any oil left. That's because your guy is very afraid of the dark. And if you stay in the dark for too long, your sanity bar starts to deplete, and guess what happens after that? You run out of sanity points because you have to revive, otherwise you just load up the last save. This is how you go search for items. My inventory is full, and I've emptied my inventory about, 5 times now. So be careful picking up stuff. There is going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to pick up to progress the story. So you just have to do some inventory management. The voice acting in this game is great. The aesthetics are great. The graphics are great. I like how everything is laid out. I like the effect from the lightning from the window that is projected on the carpet there. That is pretty nice. Very beautiful to look at. So I want to commend the developer for making this game as aesthetically pleasing as possible. Speaking of which, let's look at the map. This is your map, and as you can see, these are doors, and there's a really nice legend on the right side explaining to you what everything is. You have locked doors, you have puzzles, you have storage places or saves. You have many things. You have a trader, which I haven't discovered a trader. Oh yeah, I did discover a trader. I cannot for the life of me remember how to even get to him. I think he's on the 2nd floor of the mansion. Definitely not the attic. Whatever. We'll find him. And then you have save points and pickups These little guys are places that you can search and pick stuff up. As you can see, there's some left, most likely because I ran out of inventory space. But usually, from my experience, anything that has the mark of a pickup, that means it's an important item that you should probably go get. And the X here is your character and where you're located. You're going to rely heavily on the map, simply because of this. Now, normally, if there was a door right here, you wouldn't be able to see it. And you cannot rotate the camera either. So that's a little bit of a problem, because if you want to play the game without using a map, you're going to have to guess and pretty much check and see if there's any doors here. What I would have liked to see is kind of a wall disappearance as you get down to this area of the map of the area, so that you can kind of see what is there. If there's a door, it would remain, and then you could use it. I think pulling up the map in order to figure out if there's a door is a bigger immersion breaker than just making this black stuff disappear and showing me the door. Storage cabinet. Ooh, there's a large oil flask. I'm gonna need that, and I am going to consume one of these to replenish my my sanity, and we're gonna discard these because I don't care for them. Let's see, we can stack this stuff, we cannot stack this stuff. This right here, this X, this is part of a key that you have to assemble later down in the game. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I do have a hell of a lot of left stored in areas, in the storage area, which also is limited. And speaking of inventory, I would have liked to see the inventory not be limited, or at least be bigger. You run out of inventory space in the beginning in the first few tens minutes of your game. I think that should probably be addressed. Now, let's see, we're going to look at the map, and I'm going to go back to pretty much the main hub area, which is going to be this area right here. In order for us to achieve that, we're going to have to go through this door and then travel down to this door. The question marks are puzzles that I've already tried to solve, and I haven't been successful in most of them. And this is locked. That is interesting. If that's locked, there's a door here that I haven't discovered, but I don't think there's actually a point in going into the main hub area. You can fast travel between the same levels, but you cannot fast travel in any other floor of the manor. So that's kind of frustrating. So we're going to go right, down, and then right. So let's see. If I recall correctly, this is a dark area. Yep. There we go. We're just going to sprint through this fire, and we were successful. Now, this is what I was talking about, the door. I can't see the door, but I do have to enter it. I am not afraid of this part. That's pretty cool. If you... Oh, I just fucking fell. Are you fucking kidding me? I've never fallen, but this is one of those parts of the game that you have to be careful for. There's some platforming involved. What I did was I discarded this, and then I came over here and I picked up this large oil and stacked that mirror. So the way you pull out your lantern is with the right trigger. And on the top of the corner, as you see, there's a flame icon that indicates how much oil you have left on your lamp. So definitely be careful with that. Don't let it run out. I haven't been over this area, so hopefully it's one of those fast traveling places. It's pretty slow to take place, and I'm afraid of that spot. Sometimes entering rooms takes a little bit of time, and you do see these skeletons randomly in beds, which is kind of freaky. I'm not gonna lie. This is a pickup. It's a chest. I need a casket key. I don't have any more casket keys because I've used them all. Is this a podium? No, it's small. Let's see. I think I can use that. Yep. Nope, that's not what I use it. Let's see. This one? Yes. A letter addressed to me. Oh, that's interesting. I can now go down on that. I wasn't able to do that before. I gained a sanity point. That's one of those secrets that you unlock. Great to demonstrate. Sulfur, clay, whatever else. I cannot stack any sulfur. I do have a lot of clay, so I am going to take the sulfur. Here we go. Nice. I don't know if sulfur is really important in this game, but it is pretty rare to find. Now that door was locked, so let's see if we have any keys to unlock it. Sometimes opening doors takes a little bit of time. It's kind of like the game is... There's a sun symbol. Okay, so there's various keys. There's moon keys and sun keys. Obviously, I used them all. So I don't have any more to use for this door. And we're just going to slowly make our way back to where we were so we can try to go to the main hub area. I'm going to address a few more of the issues and, I guess, compliments I have for the game. And we're going to try to wrap it up. I don't know what this thing does, but it does make you kind of crazy when you look at it. I try not to fuck with it because if you keep getting stressed out by various elements in the game, then your sanity does go down and then you end up dying. So try not to do that. There we go. We're going to open the door. Spikes. Be careful with the spikes. Don't fall victim to them. It's an office area. I don't recall what's here. I think I picked it. Yeah, there was just a chest here. Nothing else. I was going to exit. This is going to be your life with this game. Navigating through the various rooms. There's no damage per se, but if you do take damage, then your sanity goes down. So be careful with that. Don't let those spikes hit you. Otherwise your sanity level goes down. Is this still locked? I think I need a... Oh, it's broken. Even though I have multiple handles. Here we go. We're almost at the main hub area. We're gonna go down. Now, about the camera, I said... I think I unlocked... I think I have the... Yes, I have the key for this. Garden door. Garden key. Awesome. That's what I was trying to do earlier before I sort of gave up. Let's look at the voice acting.
The place did not look the same as I remembered. The garden felt more somber, as if death itself had visited.
Not very impressive because there's the rain masking the voice acting, but it is a lot better. You just have to take my word for it, even though we haven't heard it yet.
Theo, dear lad.
Of course, Wilhelm. What are you...
There is no time for small talk, I'm afraid. I have something of great importance to tell you. Something your father never had the chance to explain.
What could there possibly be that he hasn't told me already? My father wasn't much of a keeper of secrets, as I recall.
Sir Westmark, please listen. This house, it does not really exist. I mean, it exists, but not in the way you imagine. It is infested, diseased, and cursed.
What are you on about, you old fool?
I do not know much about this place, even though I have worked here ever since your Benjamin moved in. But your father dabbled in some nasty things.
What do you mean?
Theo, this involves you. The Westmark Manor wants to claim its remuneration. Your soul, Theo. Your father wanted...
Wilhelm? Oh, bollocks.
And just like that, he's gone. I don't know why. What's here? Sometimes you're going to be walking in rooms where you're going to be interacting with objects that will scare you and bring your sanity level down. And that's pretty annoying because you could have never guessed that something like that would have happened in order for you to avoid it. So we're going to consume one of these again because we don't want to die. Here we go. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the game has an over dependence on keys. I have a million keys here and a million doors to go through. A lot of them are locked. A lot of them are locked with very specific keys. You have the moon key and you have the sun key. You run out of those keys, even though I don't understand why using a key runs out. I think it would have been a lot better for the progression system for the game to make you work a little bit more for the keys to find them and then be able to keep them and use them more than once and limited times preferably. I wish this was also in the difficulty setting, which I want to talk about this here in a second. The difficulty setting is a series of questions in the beginning of the game, and the game... It's a series of questions, and then the way you answer kind of tailors the game to your presumed preferred playstyle. That is nice in theory, as well as you also give me the option to select my own difficulty. Make the difficulty either a set of questions if you want to do that, but don't take away the more traditional method of picking the difficulty. If I want to have the easiest difficulty, I don't want to have to guess or Google what the questions mean in order to not be tricked. As you can see, my darkness sensitivity is reduced and my sanity is increased by 10 points. I wish I had a way of controlling that and making the game a little bit more easier, but it's not that the game is easy. It's just sometimes it gets tedious, like the save file system. If you die and you've had a little bit of progression done, you're going to be losing it all. And that's not ideal. It's more frustrating than it is challenging, having to go through. Just have a checkpoint system. I think that would have been a little bit better. Less time wasted. But I'm at a point of the game right now where the keys, finding keys and locating keys and backtracking in order to find keys, there's the perspective of the camera changing, like I mentioned earlier. Usually there would have been a jump scare here, but there wasn't this time. Now, in order to beat a labyrinth, you have to stick to the left side and keep going. Touch plate. Oh, fuck me. It's one of those things. Well, we're going to be here forever, folks, because a lot of these puzzles, they don't make much sense. Oh, this is a massive area. This is an incredibly massive area. But it makes sense that it wouldn't tell you where the walls are. That's not a pickup. I don't know what these numbers mean, but they must mean something. Running out of stamina as per usual. What does this plate do? There we go. I think the key system is what hinders the game the most. If it was up to me, I would have just scrapped the whole key system. Wouldn't have kept it in. But I'm not the developer of the game. Ammonia. I wish I could make you fuck off. I don't want you. There's more stuff down here. But I don't know how to get to it. Oh, here we go. 3 ammonia again. Nice. This is a pickup. This is a water. I don't have anything to put water in. Maybe this? Yeah. Item won't fit in the inventory. That is pretty annoying. I'm going to consume you. And then I'm going to discard this ammonia so I can make this happen. Water flasks are used for, you guessed it, crafting. I'm going to use all of the empty ones so I can free up an inventory space. Because I'm smart like that. I want to finish this labyrinth and then kind of put my wrap up together on what I think about the game. Another thing that is worthy of mentioning, I believe, is the sort of disoriented in nature story that the game tries to tell you. I still have no idea what is happening in the game. It's kind of difficult for me to keep track of everything and follow the storylines. What the hell? I have to go all the way down here. I wish the stamina lasted a little bit longer. That would also have been nice. Oh, I could have... What? Maybe this? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Made it to the other side. I thought I was never going to do this, but I did it. And there's a cutscene. 4 sigils. What is this? How many sigils? What? Oh no, what is this? Okay. This is one of those puzzles. In it, yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with this. Another problem with the game is that it's not very popular yet, so not many people have solved all of these. So unless you want to watch someone play it, very speedrunny nature, and figure out what the answer to those puzzles are, there's going to be a while until there's a wiki up and a solution for all the puzzles. But I'm most likely not going to be able to solve this. So let's see. I9. Oh, it just resets by itself. 9. 3. What is 3? 3. Pretty sure there has to be something. Oh. What is I, though? Is this I? Hopefully. It's a double. No. Not gonna have luck with this one, but let's do a recap. There's no mouse support on the game. There's incredible voice acting. It's built in the Unity engine, and for a Unity engine, this is surprisingly intuitive. I really like it. It has ultra-wide support, which kudos to that. Played with a controller. Do yourself a favor and play with a controller. But do keep in mind that the movement is a little bit wonky, not responsive at all, and very slow to respond. So that may be a little bit of frustration. The save system uses a point system where you have sanity points and a sanity bar. When the sanity bar depletes, you consume a sanity point to revive yourself, or you start over from the last save that you did at a podium, in which you use the sanity point in order to save your progress if you don't want to consume another sanity point. It kind of gets in the way. Again, I would have liked a checkpoint system, because you may lose hours and hours of progress if you run out of sanity points. So that, I guess, makes the game challenging, if not frustrating. That's just not my cup of tea. The camera work is one of the weakest links of the game. I do like how it changes perspectives a lot of the time in order to enhance the jump scares. Otherwise, you're feeling very disconnected from the character on a top-down view. And trust me, those jump scares, they're not really jump scares. They're just horror moments, and they actually work. They're really creepy. I like it. I wish there was more. But if you overplay something, then it may get old. There's a fast travel system. I want to try to show this if I can, but it's going to take a long time. There's various parts of the game in which you have to use the sigils that as you can see on the menu, I have 4. And I did actually... you need 14 sigils in order to unlock the gate to GTFO. My playtime is an hour and 30 technically, not including the pause time and searching and all that stuff. The movement, again, is pretty frustrating. The puzzles are also not that fun when you consider... why does it, like, reset every time I do something? I don't understand. There's no select, by the way. So pressing A doesn't do anything. And by the looks of it, you have to do this very quickly. Adding to the recap would be the overabundant reliance on keys for doors and chests in order to progress. I'd rather see a really nice solvable mini puzzle instead. The story is interesting. I did enjoy uncovering a lot of the stuff about the story, and I'm glad I didn't show much about it. If you want to play for the story, yeah, play it. For $14.99, there's a lot of fun, a lot of time to be spent here. Sometimes it's not going to be enjoyable time, but it is going to be a fun time for the most part. I want to keep playing it, but I want to keep playing it when more people have started playing the game in order to help me solve a lot of these puzzles and show me how to solve them. Yeah, very atmospheric, a unique game. I would add. Just a few things get in the way of enjoyment. So there you have it, guys. This has been an overview of Westmark Manor. Hope you enjoy it. See you in the next one. Peace.